What is going on, folks? Today we are back at my place. We've got 2011 GMC Sierra 1500. Customer states that the oil pressure gauge drops out and he gets a code for an oil pressure sending unit. If you let it run for about 10 or 15 minutes or so, somewhere in that range, it will. You'll start to see the gauge drop down to about 15 PSI, and the longer you let it run, the lower the gauge gets. So what we are going to do is just a little bit of testing. So we've got a puck little thing here. This takes place of the oil filter. So we're going to get under there, take the oil filter out, put this in place, and then right here we can tap in with a manual gauge. And then we can watch real pressures coming out of the pump at that point of the engine. Because if we're low on oil pressure there, we're done. It needs a pump. Or it doesn't have any bearing noise, so typically it would be a pump. But that's our first plan of action right now. If the oil pressure is good when the gauge is dropping out, then we'll remove the gauge, the sending unit, and put the manual gauge in there, and then see if we lose it. Because if we lose it at that point, then it's probably the VLOM, which is the variable lifter oil manifold, or the valve lifter oil manifold. I don't know what you call it, but either way, we're going to put this in and see what we got. Chances are we got low oil pressure at the pump, which has usually been every single time I've dealt with these, but I'm hoping for a different outcome today so we can go a different path. I'm tired of running into pumps and people not wanting to replace it. So anyway, I don't think I've ever showed you guys this before, so we're going to get underneath here, hook it all up, and show you what it looks like. So let's get to it. Oh my God, who put this on? Fucking Superman. Ay, Jesus. Am I tightening that? No, I'm not tightening it. Why won't it come off? Get up at the top. Jesus. Oh my word, what the hell, man? Hand tight, folks, hand tight. Fucking A. Not even gonna be able to put that filter back on afterwards. Well, I mean, I probably will, but I mean, come on, what the hell? Fucking people. Oh, great, now the phone's going off. So make sure this is the right size puck for this thing. Yes, it is. Okay. What a messy ass job. Okay, well, all right. Let me go get something to clean this up with. Jeez. Let's clean some of that up a little. Close enough. Okay. Well, there you go. So that's the puck. Takes place of the oil filter. Here's our gauge. So I'm going to get out from under here. We'll leave that there. So now we're going to start it, let it run for a little while, make sure there's no leaks on what I just did. If there's no leaks, then we'll let it run here for a little while. All right, looks pretty good. So, oh, good gravy getting up and down off the floor. All right, so we're gonna let this run. So as of right now, we're running, I don't know, whatever that is right there. So I'm gonna go grab the scanner and we're gonna hook that up so we can watch real numbers. Dirt, 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 dirt. Oh, I need to update my scanner. That's expensive. So much glare. I can't stand the glare. Has this got AC? Sure does. Let's get some AC going here, huh, folks? Okay. It's got auto AC. No trailer brake. Under 86. Without. I don't know that RPO code, so I don't care. I'm going to say without. You'd think the VIN number would know all this stuff. Dude, the glare. I don't understand how some of y'all do this without glare on the screen. Because like, hey, look, there's my fat face. Okay. Now, I did run these checks the other day with the scanner, so the scanner matched the cluster, so I'm not doing this for a check, I'm doing it so you guys can see it. So let's just go search. Oops. All right, so there you go. Engine oil pressure at 19 PSI right now, 20 PSI. So let's go check our gauge, see where that is. And we're holding 40 PSI. We're gonna let it run to get warm, but that does tell us something a little bit so far, that either the sensor is incorrect, meaning the oil pressure sensor has started to fail, or there's still another leak in the system. So I'm gonna let it run for a little bit longer and watch and see if the pressure gets down lower, because it does. The other day it was down around 15 or 14 and it ran for about 10 minutes. So we're gonna wait on that and we'll go from there, because I'd rather get some real world numbers when it's truly, you know, at least at somewhat operating temperature. So anyway, I'll bring you guys back in a few minutes, but yeah, we're still at 19 or so right now. So we're gonna just sit and watch it. So I'll be back. Okay, so we've been running for about 10 minutes or so now. We're only running 17 PSI or so. Doesn't really change much. But our lower gauge on the pump is running good. We're still really loud. So I only dropped like 1 PSI and 1.5 or so, but so did this. This was at 19. Oh, now we're down 16, 17, 16. So I mean, it's slowly going down, but so is the engine side. But we have a little over a 20-degree difference here. So I would venture to say that the pump is okay, and our next test should be at the oil pressure sending unit up at the top. So I need to get an oil filter over here and put it back in place. That's it for now. I will bring you guys back tomorrow when I have the proper stuff with me, and we can make sure we diagnose this thing correctly instead of just throwing parts at it. No parts cannons. Don't do that crap. Diagnose first, then repair. Alrighty, we are back. Next day. So I just put the new oil filter in. What we're going to do is get it off these ramps, and our next step is going to be... Oh, ow. I hurt myself. Get it off the ramps, and then we are going to get that oil sender out, and then hook in our manual gauge into the oil sender slot. So these senders kind of suck. They're in the back of the intake here, way back there. Ray, you're not going to see me do it, but it's back behind that panel right there, that little plastic thing right there. So I'm going to set you guys right here, and you can watch my arms go back there, and that's about it. Like, I can see it through here, so I can usually get my eye on it and drop a socket on there and crack it loose. So that's what we're gonna do. Get off me. But we're gonna climb up and get on up in this engine. So much dust. My foot's stuck. My foot's stuck. Get on there. Okay. Alright, let's get this out of the way so we don't break it on accident. What is this line? Purge valve line. Okay, got that out of the way. Let's get this side off. Holy craziness. Look at my hand. That's disgustingly dirty. I don't even know where that came from. What the hell? A valve cover? Yeah, Jesus Christ. Alright, well, that's all out of the way, at least. Alright, we're unplugged. Let's get this socket dropped on there. Got it. Ouch. So we get this extension on there. Okay, we're definitely going to use a swivel this time because I really don't want to fight with it too much. Think I could put a bigger ratchet in here? Probably, right? Why do I feel like the filter's not in there either? All right, let me go get a boroscope real quick. Up here. It's just a cheapy Amazon, but it's got a nice articulating head on it. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna stick this back down in there and see if the filter is in there. It looks like it. It looks like I can see the screen. Come on. So, dang it. I keep moving it. So if you could see right here, it looks like that's the bottom side of the screen, but I could be wrong. So this is a new screen. So I'd like to get that one out so we can see. And where the hell did where'd the sensor go that I dropped? Oh. I got the sensor. Okay, there we go. I got the sensor out. I don't know where the hell the filter went, like I said. That thing's long gone. Oh, there's the filter. See it sitting right there next to the harness? Now where that is, that's right on the top of the bell housing towards my left, I think. Yeah. Got it. Okay, now there's a little bit of falseness here because that sludge buildup is from where I dropped it. Look at my fingers. The screen itself, if I look past some of the junk, sorry, I heard noise. It doesn't look that great, but we replaced it anyway. But I mainly wanted you guys to see that I took it out. All right. So, manual gauge. I gotta go get it because for some reason I keep leaving everything in the freaking truck. So number 9, maybe. About a number 10. 10 looks too big. We're gonna go with a 9. I'm gonna go with a 9er. 9er. All right. How much do you think? You think I'm gonna drop it? If I drop this, if I don't drop this, if you're watching it, you need to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I didn't drop it, so you better hit that button. You better subscribe, people. I've been singing that damn NSYNC song in my head all fucking day. I think it's NSYNC. Because everyone's putting that damn meme up on Instagram and TikTok with the freaking Deadpool movie, which I still have not seen. So, when you're alone like I am all day long, I tend to repeat songs in my head all day, over and over and over again. And that freaking stupid song is in my head. And now, don't get me wrong, I've never really listened to NSYNC in my entire life because, you know, I'm not a chick. But why do I know the song? Why do I know all the fucking words? Can someone please explain that to me? Why do I know all the words to the freaking NSYNC songs? Okay, that's hooked up. Flashlight out. We do need to hook this back up. I'm not worried about the purge because I'm going to unplug it. I don't need to hook that line back up. But let me get out of here. Okay. All right. So we got this in now. Let's go start it up. Make sure I got no leaks, and then we'll double check the gauge. Of course, I can't see the gauge or the thing. No major leaks. There's a little leak. My tool leaks a little bit, which just is what it is. But we are running 30 psi up at the top. So at the moment, it doesn't tell us much until this runs for a few more minutes. And then what's that going to tell us if this thing drops? We read 40 at the bottom. Yesterday we were reading 20, and then it was dropping into the like 16 or so when it got a little bit warm. So we could more than likely have either just a bad sender and a clogged up filter, or there might be something wrong with the VLOM underneath that intake. But it's not dropping out. I'm already 10 psi higher than I was yesterday when I first started the truck. So chances are this is just going to be a sending unit. And I know, you know, some people are just gonna be like, oh, it's easier, just throw a sender unit in it. No, I don't want to do that. I need to make sure that what I do is gonna fix the damn car or truck or whatever. So we're gonna let it run for a few minutes, keep an eye on it, make sure we don't spring any leaks. And if this stays relatively close to, right now I'm at 28 psi. I'll tell you what, while that runs, let's go check our spec on it again, just to double check before I say anything out loud. I got the information in the trailer. Okay. Lubrication system, that's the amount. Oil pressure, minimum, hot. 1,000 RPM, 22 PSI. 2,000 RPM, 30 PSI. And 33 PSI at 3,000 RPM. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 22, 30, and 33. Well, that's just some really obscure freaking numbers here, but okay. Let's go do some revving of the engine. So can you guys remember that, please? 22, 30, and 33, because I'm probably going to forget and have to come back. Okay, so right now we are at some pressure. What's that, about 26? So I'm going to bring it up to 1,000. Which is right there. So we're at 30. This is 2,000 RPM. God dang it, the gauge moved. Stupid. Okay, look at this. It reaches. All right, you're going to have to read that upside down. All right, so that's 2,000 RPM. We're almost at 40. That's 3,000 RPM, and we're at 45. Let's bring it back down to 1,000 right here. And we're at 32. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the camera. And then idle. We're back down into the 20s. So we're at operating temperature. Right there. We're at operating temperature. The fans just came on. I would say the engine is fine. Nothing wrong with it. So now, let's put a new sensor in. We already have a new filter in there. So we're going to go ahead and change out the sensor, and I think we're going to be fine. Because according to the specs, according to all those specs that we read, that should be all right. All right, everybody. Unfortunately, the wonderful Rode wireless mics that I use failed me again today. And now I'm having to do a voiceover in order to tell you what's going on with the rest of this video. I didn't want to just not post it because of the audio, but this is just the way I have to finish the video. So I do apologize that there's not much sound, but this is just the way it is. So I just got done, finished installing the oil pressure sending unit. Everything under the hood is back together. Now I'm just getting the scanner hooked up so I can show you guys what the pressures are reading on the scanner. So if you remember earlier in the video, we got down to about 16 or so PSI when the vehicle was at operating temperature. I will show you here, as soon as I pull up the data, the oil pressure. I believe I do show you the coolant temp also, just so we can see in real time what it is. So basically what we found out, see there, it's at 210 on there, and then I'll show you on the scanner, I think it was 199. Basically on the scanner we're reading about, on average when it's fully warmed up, about 10 psi more than what the old gauge or sender was reading. Granted, you only saw it down to about 16 in the video. It was, the first time that I ever looked at it, it was getting down into the 10 and 12 range, and sometimes down even into 8 psi, but this was a couple weeks ago. The main thing is that our gauge stays right about where it is on the screen right now, and the PSI can vary all the time. That's just what it does. So dropping into 22 like it is there and back up to 24 is perfectly fine. We do run the RPM back up here, I think. So we'll wait here in a minute and just to see. But I'm pulling up the coolant temp sensor now just to show you that it is at operating temperature. So yeah, they were at 199 right there in the middle, and I'm showing the RPM. I'm revving it now, 1,000 RPM, 31 PSI. And then here I'm bringing it up to 2,000 PSI, it's 35, or 2,000 RPM is 35 PSI or so. And then I'll bring it up to 3,000. There you go, 3,000 is 40 PSI. So if you remember earlier, we showed you on the spec that it needed to be no lower than 20 PSI at 1,000 RPM. So we're well within that range. The engine is fine. I don't have any issues with it. I'm happy with it. The customer, he picked up the truck this evening, so he's happy with it also. That's really about it. So, I mean, again, I'm sorry that the audio cut out, and I'm having to sit in my office do this on a separate microphone, but no big deal, is what it is, so I can get you guys the footage. So I really appreciate you guys checking out the channel. If you liked the video for what it was, please drop a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys on the next job. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you later.